Meow.
Double.
Let's dance, darling.
Oh yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
All shit. Ledge up. Press left. No. Ledge up. Sweet. Ledge up. Ledge. Press left.
Radio slot.
Elvis, run Go now.
Power nap.
Ledge up.
Power nap. Stand by. Tag complete. Critical state
Great.
Logging on.
What you gonna do?
Power nap.
Hard camera. The line for autographs starts here.
Player one pays the tab. Misfortune.
You hear the news? Skullgirls been going after all those families in Maple Crest.
Looks like this new skullgirl's got a bone to pick with the boss. Where's he gone anyway, huh? Think the rumors of him getting sick are true. Hold up. Look, there she is. That fishfolk dame we were sent to find. Hey, Goily. Can we get some, service over here?
Yes. May I help you, sir?
Hey now, you're quite the dish. I'd like to eat you up. Why don't you swim over here with a couple free drinks? And we hit the town.
I'm sorry, but I need to work.
You know, you are pretty cute. What, stinking kill girl?
Is everything okay over here? Are these guys bugging you, Manette?
Go find yourself a sandbox, kitty. We're just having a friendly chat with the little minnow here.
Leave. Now, or I'll throw you out myself.
Can't you take a clue, you flea-bitten tot? Clearly you don't know who you're messing with. Did you see that? That stupid cat didn't stand a chance. What the?
Never mind her. We found what we're looking for. Let's get back and tell Vitaly. Ah!
You okay, Manette? They didn't hurt you, did they?
That was amazing. What would I do without you?
Thanks for scaring them off, Nadia. Your next dinner is on me.
Actually, I think it's time I make my move and follow them. I've got to catch me a skullgirl, and it sounds like Mafia goons are the perfect bait to draw her out.
Sounds very dangerous. Be careful out there. You're like family to us, you know.
Nadia, do you really think the Skull Heart can bring your friends back?
There's only one way to find out. See you around, Union, and give my regards to your dad, Manette. Curiosity can't kill me.
You know, the room is spinning. I can't wait to see the cheers!
Well, what have we here? That's quite the body you've got there, kitty.
Sorry, creepy lady. I'm not interested.
Oh, don't get the wrong idea. I was just admiring your scars. You've been cut clean through several times over. No one could survive that. Yet here you are, walking, talking, and shedding. Whatever's animating you could be invaluable to my research. Let's perform an autopsy and see what makes you tick.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Don't even try. Don't even try. No place to run. Don't even try. Don't even try. I underestimated you, but I've seen all that I need to see. And I'm sure the analysis of this blood will prove most enlightening.
You just don't stop, do you?
Lady Valentine, the skullgirl has requested your presence at the cathedral.
A nurse and a nun. Huh, where have I heard this joke before?
I'll be there soon, Double. Return and let Marie know that I found Lorenzo. His minions led me right to him. I just had to stop and perform a little experiment on our feline friend here.
Very well.
Take care, Kitty. We'll have a follow-up visit as soon as these tests come back from the lab.
So, the skullgirl is hiding out at the Grand Cathedral, is she? Never was one for churches, but here I'll make an exception. We'll be back together soon enough, guys.
Can I have a cheeseburger?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Lost potatoes! You're right!
Whoa, hang on!
Claws out! Awesome! Awesome! Here, kitty kitty! Cry. In my
Oh, are we stopping?
Ready, number 13. Lost for Cry. Get back here. Cry. Clear the way.
So, this is the Grand Cathedral, eh? Now, what's a skullgirl like you doing in a place like this?
She followed me home, Double. Can I keep her?
You again! Don't you have an appointment with the skullgirl?
Indeed, I did, but I'm afraid we've got a scheduling conflict. As it turns out, you've got an appointment on my dissection table, right about now. Let's not be late, or I'll have to get my spray bottle.
You couldn't beat me before, so what makes you think you can now?
Yes, my previous experiment was a failure, but I've got my lab assistant to help this time around.
May the Trinity have mercy on this poor, lost soul.
The nun is your lab assistant? Hate to break it to you, lady, but you're not gonna get much science out of this one.
Your experiments will have to wait, Valentine. She is a candidate.
A candidate, you say? Even better. Come on, kitty. The doctor will see you now.
Toast to your health. Okay, go. The room is spinning.
Try. Here comes trouble.
You're back. Here, kitty kitty. Dinner time.
Are we stopping?
Rolling star.
Don't even touch your mind. Don't even try.
Get it back here. Feel my
Lost and effect. All right, Skullgirl, you know why I'm here.
I do.
So, no offense, but you're the last thing standing between me and my family. So let's get this show on the road.
I too have lost much to the Medicis. Do you not seek vengeance? Wishes such as yours rarely turn out well.
I've got to try. The Fishbone Gang raised me, protected me, and taught me everything I know. The least I can do is return the favor.
Your instincts are admirable. My wish was also to protect my friends.
Look, I'm gonna have to stop you before you get to the we're a lot alike you and I bit. I've come too far to turn around, so it's time to claw that heart out of you.
So be it. I hope your wish turns out well.
Curiosity can't kill me.
I can't wait to see the showtime.
Take your pick. Go forth.
Awesome! Get back here! Dare challenge me? So sure you can defeat me. See how weak you are. Be like fury! Rolling star! Not a me. Total eclipse of the heart.
All right, this is it. I can't do it. I have so many new friends in Little Innsmouth. Terrible as it was, what happened happened, and made me who I am today. Changing that would be wrong. That's what the Skull Heart is here for, isn't it? To tempt us into doing the wrong thing. Marie said her wish was similar, and look how she turned out.
This stops here! A temporary setback. This world will always be cursed by a skull heart, and so shall it always be cursed with skullgirls. Until this world exists no more.
All that for a life lesson? How annoying. Well, better go check in on everyone back in Little Innsmouth. Get some food. I'm exhausted. Union, I'm back. I'm starving. It's time for that free meal you promised. Bring me the full Lucky Family banquet.
Nadia! There you are! Minette has been kidnapped! All the River King's daughters, and others too! Little Innsmouth is in a panic!
What? Who would dare do such a thing?
That's where I come in. My name is Irvin. I'm a private detective. The River King hired me to find his daughters, so if you have any information that might help, I'd appreciate if you shared it. The proprietor of this fine establishment was telling me that there have been numerous mafia sightings in the area recently. That's the only lead we've got, but kidnapping certainly fits the mob's MO. We're at a loss as to why they'd be targeting Dagonian women, though.
The Mafia! Maybe Marie had it right all along. Irvin, I'm coming with you. Those black-hearted bastards already took one family from me. And like hell, I'm going to let them do it again. Hang in there, Minette. We'll find you.
Why so down tonight? Just another day that didn't go your way. Well, don't you make a side. Just take my hand, don't toss and turn. Let's just lie awake. In just a moment's time, you'll wonder why you ever thought you.
It doesn't work, man!
What happened? Oh, are we stopping? Whoa, hang on!
How do I do this? Greater Samson, how do I do it? Kick 2 times.
Let's go!
Rigger, search!
I can't.
The room is spinning.
I tissue. Strip.
Holy shit.
Or like a Japanese voice actress? No, this sounds like a Japanese voice actress. Yamate! Yamate, kudasai! Yamate! 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 Yeah!
Careful of your boobies, okay?
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
No, I don't want you to get...
They're gonna spill out one day. I know they are.
But that's not... Now's not the...
That's the day I pop off, Lily. That's the day. Woo! Ariasaki pop off!
Man, I'm so out of shape. I need
Boobies a
exercise.
bitch.
For sure.
Alright. We're good.
Puede que parezca fácil criar ganado, cosechar y transportar cultivos.
Hello again, SGBers. I'm Companion Wolf. Welcome to another Smile Game Builder tutorial. Have you ever fancied a nice background image in your menus? Perhaps with some accompanying background music? In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can do this with Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today I have a bit of a cold, so if I sound a bit flat, that's why. Please bear with me. I wanted to do this yesterday, but there was too much background noise. You know, things like heavy traffic going by, people shouting, calling to one another, noisy neighbors, that kind of thing. So I just couldn't do it, and there was also a lot of other things going on. Anyway, as many of you know, especially if you've been following my Twitter account and the RPG Maker blog, I've had the privilege and honor of beta testing the Smile Game Builder. It's basically an RPG Maker engine that allows you to create 2D and 3D games, but with the main focus being on the 3D aspect. With the trial version of SGB already available for download, And pretty much edit. It's rather cool. So let's go straight into the edit game data, which is where you can edit all of your details. The main game title, and then this is the subtitle that will appear right below the game title. You can change the map settings for the starting party. I'm not going to do that yet. Add a character. I like Maria, let's add her. So in the game content itself, this is the description of the game. So as it says, written descriptions are displayed by hovering the mouse pointer over the project when selecting a file with open project. So the system settings, all of the windows are here. I actually like this one, so we'll use that one. And then the menu window, same sort of thing. Actually, how about this? To differentiate, the selection window is basically the selection. Okay, keep with that one. System sounds. All of the system sounds here. To be honest, I haven't really listened to too many of these, so what does this one sound like? Okay, that's cool. And Battle 1. Okay, so that's it. Next one is the title. You can, if you wanted to, you can create your own title graphic and include it here, which is a rather cool feature. You can select the font colors of the main title, align it left, right or center, change the size of the font, and the text effects, shadow, border, or not have one. I like the border. You can also add a frame to here. They should have a scroll one somewhere. There it is, that one or that one. I think we'll use the darker one. So when you have this one, screen to display is tested like that. You can also align the title. In RPG Maker, you can still do this, but you have to script it into the program for it to work. So this is a really cool feature to have, quite handy. So just stick it at the top. No, actually we won't. Center. You can slide from above, and as you can see, if you wanted to do that, I just pop up as well. Just stick with fade in for now. Now in the start menu here, these are all of the settings for this. So when you change it, it'll preview. These ones is a really cool feature. Again, you can use this according to your needs. Stick with that one. Position it however you like. And the selection box animation is basically the cursor. You have various effects like throb, zoom. You can also change the graphic. So let's see. That one should look okay. Yeah, that one's not so bad. And then the sound and background, you can change the screens And the title music. Again, I haven't really listened to many of these, but the ones that I have a few of my favorites. This one. That's the one. You can also have environmental sounds. Some of these are really cool. Right, stats, item, all of the so stick with that one. In the game terminology, this is pretty much where all of the text strings that you have, you can change. Store, elements, item, menu. When your inventory is enemy, no items. Right, stats. And it even has a KO. That's a new feature. Okay, the battle. And then these are the characters. Equipment, inventory, all of the items that you can use. Learn skills, you can add some. This is the skills list. Firestorm. We'll just go with that one for now anyway. And then these are the commands where you can add more, and I don't know, I'm just doing this randomly. How original. And then these are all of the items that you can use, modifies the stats or recovers or something, and then these are the animations. They actually have some really cool ones here. I don't know if I have a favorite, to be honest. Yeah, that one. Anyway, skills, different effects and animations, and then the monsters. But they have the stats, etc., etc. So now when you click on test play, all of your settings should be done. Move around. From the 3D aspect, it's really cool. Only those who are qualified can pass through. You have a letter from the village out there. Oh god, no. Okay, what I did was I just changed it a bit, so you can test the battles. That's a good deal. Bye guys. Control C will go straight back to the title screen. Anyway, that was showcasing the battle. They only have the front view. There's no side view, although that has been highly requested. These are a sample of some of the events that they have. They're all previews. I mean, they're all presets. Acquire money, acquire chest, and so on and so on. And then you can have various people. We'll cover that in another tutorial. In the utilities section, you can actually change the language to Japanese or English. You can also choose several fonts. Uh-oh. Crashing. Yeah, there it is. These are actually the installed fonts. So when you test it again, I think crashing. Yeah, there it is. These are actually the to choose several. Acquire money, acquire chest, and so on and so on. And then you can have various people. We'll cover that in another tutorial. In the utilities section, you can actually change the language to Japanese or English. You can also choose several fonts. Uh-oh. Crashing. Yeah, there it is. These are actually the installed fonts. So when you test it
Hello?
again,
Someone there?
I think, yeah, there you go. The font is actually changed, and this will happen to everything. The other part, the other part is when you want to actually create a public game. This is what you would click, and you'd be able to save it as an output. I haven't done this yet, not properly anyway, so this is where it would appear and say all of these are the settings, and then you have the maps, the images, but only only the default images aren't saved. These are also the saved ones, so the customized ones, the ones you've actually added. That's a customized tile that I started creating. And okay, and that's will be of things work. Hello and welcome to another Smile Game Builder tutorial. Today we'll be looking at the map, from navigating around in the editor to creating a new map to using tiles and effects. First, let's start with the navigation. There are several ways you can move around the map to make it easy editing. In the bottom screen is the perspective bar. The wireframe cube is the perspective. This is the toggle for enabling or disabling the map perspective. The next one, the square box, enables or disables the overhead view, where you can switch between overhead and perspective modes. Next to that, we have the vertical angle. Left click is down, right click is up. Then we have rotate. Left click rotates left, right click rotates right. Logical and easy. And then we have the zoom bar, where you can zoom in and out. Maximum zoom out, maximum zoom in. The next one is the map outline. This is the box surrounding the map, which you can toggle on or off accordingly. And the final one is the map outline. Accordingly. And the final one is the map outline. Toggle it on or off, first person or point of view mode. You can also move around the map with the map overlay here. If you left click, you can move around, or you can just click left or right map, left or right button, it doesn't matter. If this gets in your way, click on the top and you'll see that it's reduced to an icon. If you click on the icon again, it'll show up again. You can also use the keyboard mouse to navigate. Right click and drag will move the map around. The keyboard mouse to navigate. Right click and drag will move the map. Use the keyboard mouse to navigate. Right click and drag will move the map around. The middle mouse wheel will zoom in or out. Holding the Alt key and the right mouse button will move it from a 3D perspective, and it will allow you to move it in all directions. To the right are the tiles. These are essentially a single two-dimensional image with a top face and a bottom face. I'll cover this in a new tutorial, but essentially what this does is each one of these 3D faces is exactly the same. So when it rotates like this, it's a 2D image replicated 4 times. Anyway, you have the terrain, the map building blocks, you also have some slopes, and then you also have some custom. This is where the folder that you've created your tile sets go. This is one I created earlier. Next you have the objects, which is things like buildings and additional furnishings, windows and furniture. And events. Many of these are actually presets, so you click and place and then you change some settings. Again, that'll be covered in much more detail in a later tutorial. So let's begin by creating a brand new map. You left hand side under map list, add a new map, and then you have the map settings. A lot of these I'll just skip through and change only the minimal ones. You can give it a map name. We'll just put experiment to map. And by the way, you can actually use templates. They have a load of templates that you can use and manipulate, including a pub, well, it's meant to be categorized. But apparently it's just the same. That may be a bug. Let's just create a brand new map. In here you can have the light source. If we go for night, environmental effects. How about some rain? And then we'll just stick with that. As it's creating the map, you can switch to it, and you'll be presented with an ordinary map. So now let's paint or fill the terrain with some grassland, like that. You can also see the rain effect. If you look very closely on the map, and it's raining. So if we create if we create a little cliff face, I'm just drawing something very rough for the purposes of demonstration, nothing fancy, and you'll see it's highlighted where you can raise it up or raise it down. And incidentally, If you don't want to lose your selection already, you hold down the Shift key and then continue to build on your map. And then we'll fill with the same thing. So now when you can click select type, and it will highlight all of the terrain type. So we raise it up, and then we'll do the same thing for adding another elevation. I'm just roughly tracing, not doing a very good job of it. One of the disadvantages is that this can be very time consuming. And then we raise it, say, one more level. Oh, okay. This is something. I accidentally selected one of the higher elevations, and when we raise this bottom level, it also raised this. That actually looks quite cool. I think we'll keep that. So next, let's add a slope. We have one slope like that, and then maybe another slope here. Then you can rotate it around if you wanted to. And let's add an object. We can put the object up there, maybe not, just move it across like that, and then have another one right there. How about putting a shrine? Just
It's so hard.
there. Why not? You can also populate it with other things as well. A skeleton. That's a huge skeleton. It doesn't look much. Add some more terrain. Should have some water here. Sea, ice, ice, crystal. Okay, let's have the sea. And one of the cool things about this is it will automatically adapt to the terrain. If you wanted to select something, you have various select options. You can select from a rectangle, which will allow you to draw a rectangle on here and then manipulate it, raise it or lower it. You can also do a trace select, which will basically trace certain outlines and then you can manipulate it. A free select, which will fill in, and then select by type, which would mean that when we click on the grass, all of the grassy area will be selected, or all of the terrain type will be selected, and so on. And the other thing as well, select by elevation. So in the third area, the third level, that will be selected. The whole second level will be selected, and so on. So now let's playtest this and see what it actually looks like. We should create the starting position for the character to save out. Actually having go. We should create the starting position for the character to save out actually having go. To go through each time. Experimental map. Experimental map. And play position there, and that's it. One of the things we should actually do is maybe add a preset. Stationary, get speed. speak to him. This is all predefined, so you don't have to worry about it so much. You can change the emotions. And then that's it. Click and go. When we play test it, you should be able to see the map. And here it is, wandering around the map. The waterfall effect is rather cool. So if we go to the first person mode, you can see the stars. And that's a nice touch with the moon. So now let's go up and see what our little character says. Hello. And then this is our altar. And the rest is fairly straightforward. You can experiment with the different things and create maps. I've never been that good at creating maps, so this is just a very simplistic map to showcase the mapping area. If we go and create a building, let's say we put a mansion here and we rotate it. So the door is set. We can put a door event, door link to another place, and place it there. And the rest is fairly straightforward. You can experiment with the different things and create maps. I've never been that good at creating maps, so this is just a very simplistic map to showcase the mapping area. If we go and create a building, let's say we put a mansion here and we rotate it. So the door is set. We can put a door event, door link to another place, and place it there. And then maybe if we change the map, we go to Sion's house. There's a map I created earlier. We can just place him there. And as you can see, it will go to Siren's house. So when we play test it again,
I'm getting better at this shit.
we can we should be able to enter the house.
So bad. Can't even read the tutorial, guys.
Okay. Let's figure this out a minute.
So bad.
There should be a door. Change map again. Okay, I got it. That's why. The thing is because sometimes if the door is like this and it's not rotated properly, then it won't work. And it will won't have a okay, there it is. It won't have a proper functionality and you'll have a few problems. So let's just start again. We'll create another door. And then change the map. Go back to Sion's house. Put him there. And that's it. Make sure that you rotate the door so that it will actually open now. Left or right? I don't know. Stick with that one. So playtesting once more should actually go into the house. And there's the door. And that's it. That's pretty much an overview of the maps. As I said earlier, I'm not very good at making maps, but I wanted to showcase this particular how all of the maps work. It's pretty straightforward. If you wanted to shift the map, remember that feature in RPG Maker where you can shift it left, right, up or so. This is the place that you would be, the map scroll. And bearing in mind that these are specific directions, move up and so on, by default the map should be facing that way. So this way is north and this way would be south. So when you're moving around the map, it will tell you if you move it left, whichever way that you are actually facing, move right, down, south, and move up north. And it's always from the perspective of that way. It can be a little bit confusing, and you can always press Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z, potato to get back to the original. So if you make a mistake, Ctrl Z will undo it. And that's it for now. In the next few tutorials, be sure to subscribe. Hello and welcome to another tutorial in the Smile Game Builder tutorial series, in which we explore how to create and use various things with the engine. So here's what we've covered so far. The first tutorial, SGB Overview, is a short overview video on the Smile Game Builder as a whole. The second one, Creating Maps Overview, touches upon creating and setting up the maps, which also includes the shortcut keys for ready. As I mentioned, we'll go through all of these to see what's actually available. Okay, all events are in the Events tab, which contains the presets for the events to place on your map. Now, one thing I would like to point out here is that Smile Game Builder has been designed to make game creating very, very easy and with minimal work for creators. Hence these preset events, which includes anything from interacting with NPCs to adding treasure to shops and inns. And this means you can pretty much select an event and place it on the map and tweak only a few settings if you wanted to. Of course, you can edit the events for more advanced interactions, but I'll go into greater detail in later tutorials. I may touch upon the event tree here briefly, but we'll see how it goes. For now, notice that when you select a preset event, the cursor will change into a sort of smiley icon with a speech bubble. When you click on it, the event will display. Oh, by the way, if you have an existing event that you want to edit, selecting can be a bit of a pain. If you, like, say we wanted to select this door, if you are slightly off, you might end up unintentionally placing the event that you've selected onto the map. So one way to be aware of that is move the map around accordingly so you can see and check. Left click on the door or the event so that the wireframe block is directly over that, and you'll notice that the cursor changes to a 4-direction arrow as well. So with that, you just double click on the event and you can edit it, click OK to apply the changes, and that's it. And then as you can see, we'll have the door event, and then when you click off again, the little smiley guy will appear again. So let's have a look at some of these events. I'll skim through most of them and won't go into much detail yet, but at least this will give you an idea about what kinds of presets are available at a glance. Okay, so in the stationery tab are all of the stationery NPCs you can interact with. Obviously they'll just stand still and won't really do a whole lot. So the first one is Add to Party, which allows you to select the character to join your party, get them to say something when they join and afterwards, and then they'll remain in place until you talk to them and have them join. And if he or she is already in your party, this particular message will not apply. It just won't show up. Now, the next one is Stationary Speak, which is a single NPC with something useful to say, whether it's a quick hello, a welcome greeting, or a useful piece of information. The next one, actually the next two, are to set up the dialogues. You can set up which one of the two conversationalists speaks first, which we can assume that on the left is you, your character, and on the right is the NPC. So if the conversation is set to the right, then obviously the NPC will talk first, and if it's on the left, then your player will initiate the conversation. Next is receive an item. Obviously something gives you something. Dialogue when given the item, after being given the item, and when already have the item. Question. Now this gives you a choice and a response depending on what you answer. So the question, do you think I'm beautiful? The dialogue when you answer yes is, wow, well, aren't you, Frank? And then the dialogue when they answer no, don't lie to me. I know you think I'm beautiful. It's written all over your place. Well, if you know you're beautiful, why ask? Jeez. Alright. The next one is pretty much the same as the question, but this time it revolves with an item. Oh, monsters beyond yonder are mighty strong. This is actually the default, and this is very bad grammar. Should be monsters beyond are mighty strong, or monsters yonder are mighty strong. I'm sorry, I'm being pedantic. Okay, so question, if you answer yes, well, can't say I didn't warn you, take this in case. And then when you're receiving the item, but then when you say no, it'll have a response, and you obviously won't get the item. So if you already have the item, then no more items are given, and that's it. Now these next few are based on items. Okay, a different conversation depending on whether you have the item or not. If you don't, it'll say one thing. If you do, it'll say another. And similarly with this one, the receive an item, it's basically exchanging one item for another. And then move to this one actually has two options: move to the left or move to the right if you have a specific item. So as an example, if a guard is blocking the way forward and you show him a pass to allow you access, he'll move to the left or the right depending on which one you use. And these two are pretty much the same one as the previous one, except you have to give the item to the guard or whatever. These next 2, 3 options, yeah, these next 3 are to start battles, with the first one being escapable, the second one doesn't result in death, and the third one pretty much you lose, you die. And then the final one in the stationery is self-explanatory, same one, remove a party member, give a dialogue, and so on and so on. Now the next one is that we'll cover here, searchables. This is where you can set up places where if you search for something, you gain an item. Places where if you search for something, you gain an item. There are chests, dressers, pots, tables, beds, and a stuffed toy and a grave. Okay, the sparkly thingy is cool for those hidden items that aren't immediately obvious, but for which you know the location. So for example, if a key is hidden in the bushes or something in a closet, it basically shouts search here, and you can choose the item you want. Oh, and here is a brilliant addition. Indefinite and definite articles talk about an attempt at grammatical correctness without having to type it out each and every time. So you can choose a medicinal herb, an antidote, or the Phantom Spellbook quest item. In my opinion, this is a really nice touch. And incidentally, another thing that you can do, this is in all of the graphics windows on the items, is you can move the object on its X, Y, and Z axes. The mouse wheel moves in and moves out. The left mouse moves along its X and Y axes two-dimensionally, and the right mouse button will actually move it around three-dimensionally, so you can see all aspects of this. Very cool. So this is what it looks like on the map. Now the last one that we should look at is the display message if checked, which is basically a search event where a message area is shown if the area is searched, and this doesn't give you an item or doesn't require an item. It's just basically search here and then you get a message. Perhaps this could be handy for if you're investigating clues or something and you have this little thing pop up and it'll lead you on to the next clue. The next area is the doors and stairs, which are obviously doors and stairs. Places to transport you from one place to the other. You have blank events which don't really contain anything, but you can just change the map location and so on and so on. And then door linked to another place, door open if you have an item. If you link to another place, door open if you have an item, link to another place if you have an item. So what's okay? Necessary item. Okay. Aren't these exactly the same? Okay, I haven't actually played around with these. I've just basically created my own doors. So this one is if you actually have an item, you can just pass straight through. But this one, if you use an item, you can go, or at least that's how it was, but they do appear to be exactly the same thing. You can pass through if you possess the item selected with the necessary item. Right? If you possess the selected item with necessary item, you will be warped to the designated location. Pretty much exactly the same. Anyway. Door function, link to another place. The church, again blank ones. You got church doors, castle doors, desert town doors, prison doors, house link doors, labyrinth door, and warp gates. And nice one, you have a link to a well, It's a tower door and a school door, and doors, doors, and doors. Right, in the traps tab, these are switches mainly that open the doors corresponding to the button colors. Then you have an all-purpose button in case you didn't want to specify a specific color. You have the doors corresponding to the buttons, non-specified button event switch, same with the chests, pushable boxes, which is useful for those puzzles where you push boxes out of the way to make a path, through, right? Basically click, place it on there, and then it'll be pushed away from the player automatically. Destructible block, breakable when you have a specific item. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next 6 are basically message boxes appearing at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. So what have these to do with traps exactly, since they just basically display messages? I don't know. Right, moving on. Functions. In these tabs there's some useful presets, events. You can disable or enable saving on specific maps, or you can also use this to disable saving at the very beginning of the game and only use the save points to be able to save your games. This is what a save point looks like. Really cool. I love that effect. And obviously when you interact with it, you'll have a confirmation dialogue to save or not. To save or not to save, that is the question. But the answer must be yes, in case you die and have to fight that boss which almost wiped your party out again for just that cool sword. Anyway, moving on. Remember the Malulu's charm relic from Final Fantasy VI, I think, which only Mog can use to disable random encounters, or the charm bangle from Final Fantasy X2. This next preset here does just that. Deactivates random battles if a certain item is possessed, and of course you can also deactivate the random battles with a switch. Now here, this preset is the ending staff credits. Very useful. So let's add some details. We'll populate the boxes with a very versatile fellow who apparently does absolutely everything. We'll keep the switch at 0, which is activated. It won't actually activate without a switch. So let's create one. We'll use the all-purpose button and set it to that. Button and set it to that. set it to that, and button. We'll use the all-purpose button and set it to that. Actually, we'll place it in front. We'll place it to the side of the player so that when he steps on it, the end credits will come. Let's playtest this now.
Koshima way too rank.
So let's playtest. And that is the end credits. You can actually skip the text. It tends to roll by a little bit quickly, but a little bit slowly, sorry, but you can just press a key to quickly advance the text. And of course, credits generally go at the end of the game, so that's why it will give a little fanfare and say the end, and then you go straight back to the title screen for you to start all over. So we'll move on to the next bit. I forgot to mention this one. Walking is pretty much exactly the same as the stationary one, but these characters just kind of like wander around the place. And this one has an addition with a running speak. You know, basically it's catch me if you can, and if you do catch it, wow, you're fast, you caught me, that kind of thing. You know, perhaps little kids running around. Okay, and the next one is shops and inns. Basically, as it suggests, store in, traveling merchant, and traveling in. So let's create one. First of all, delete these events because we pretty much don't need them. And if we go into our house, let's create a counter. I guess this one. Put the counter up, raise it by 1. That should, no, it needs to be like that. And if we go back into the events, you can do this one of 2 ways. You see, this one, and the same with the others. They're exactly the same, but if we place the dude there, right, he'll show everything that he has for sale. Let's add a potion for good measure. And then that's it. But of course, when you come in and you talk to him, I will rotate him so he's actually facing you and not being rude. When you come in and you try to speak to him across the counter, you won't be able to because he's all blocked off and you're not able to speak to him. So hence we will pretty much create another one. I cannot speak to you if you place me on the other side of the counter, so please set me at the counter's location so that I can be spoken to directly. Well, pretty much the same thing. I mean, I guess this would be handy if say you had a little break in between the counters, so you could go behind the counter and he would be able to talk to you. But in the meantime, this particular one would, when you come in and you enter, you can speak to him to buy stuff. I don't know why they actually placed this like this, at a store located behind the counter, and then had a separate one, because if you remember in RPG Maker, you can actually set the flag for terrain, and I think there's a setting there where you could actually indicate that it's a counter, so anybody behind the counter you'd be able to speak to. And it's the same with these. In the inn you can be treated for poison, and in the inn, or also perhaps a church, heal everything. Stationary merchant, we can place him here with some other things, like maybe some weapons, brass knuckle, and then that would be it. So now playtesting, this should actually work. And there you have it. With that one. Right. Map settings. Music. Nothing. So I can speak normally without having to shout. And it's the same way here. The one... This applies for all music and sound effects. It only plays at one volume. I can speak normally without having to shout, and it's the same way here. The one... This applies for all music and sound effects. It only plays at one volume. There's no facility to turn the volume down or anything like that. Okay, now we're gonna have a bit of fun. SGB has some absolutely brilliant effects, particle effects, and I love these. There's rain, which I believe I already touched upon in a previous tutorial about map creating. You have the heavy rain really coming down there. You have the snow. Sort of like a cartoony snow, but it looks rather cool. Especially when you create a true a true snowy ground. The next one they got is flames. So, if you wanted to set a house on fire, you'd place the flames on top, and then the house will be on fire. And you place another one, say there, move it down a little bit. You can even have a bonfire. Now the white smoke, this particular one, right, say for instance if you wanted to put it on top of a chimney for an added effect. Okay, that's not very clear, so let's change from daytime to nightfall. There. Nightfall or dusk. You can see that a little bit of tweaking. The smoke can actually be coming out of the chimney. Really cool. Next one is a spark. Then another one, poison gas. So you can add multiple, and then when you walk through it you can put it where you can be injured, poisoned. I believe that's already in the advanced settings. Mist, which covers a wide area on the map, and so when you want to add multiple mist effects you can do that, and then as you walk through that's what happens. Next one is lightning. I absolutely love this effect. Whoa, thunder. Actually, it doesn't have thunder. I wonder if you can set up. Right, it has the thunder. Okay, next one, confetti. Party. I think we'll change the to full night this time so you can see it better. Fireworks. There. Incidentally, you can theoretically have as many of these particle effects as you want to on the map, probably without limit, except for if your graphics card and memory can handle it. I tested it with 32. And after the 33rd one it started kind of like lagging just a little bit. You have leaves as well for those autumnal fall effects. Dark flame. Now this one, automatic spotlight. I'll show you what it does. It's basically sort of has this flashlight effect. So when you move around, obviously because it's night, you can't see anything. Then this one is the same, but if you touch a switch, like if you have a flashlight and you activate the flashlight, then it'll automatically turn on or off. And this one is spotlight expansion, so if you touch a switch, or you touch a switch to turn this one on, then the little round bit will expand slightly. Okay, that's it. Excellent effects. Right, let's see, we're gonna put everything on here. Yeah, and at this point, we have the snow, we have some flames.
Be right back. Need to pee.
Got some smoke, spark off onto that one there. Two lightning. More confetti. More fireworks. Let's have some more fireworks. We'll go all out on this. And that's a lot. Let's see. Test play it. It's taking a little bit longer to load than it normally does. So now here we go. It's not that bad, and doesn't really lag that much. So that's always a good thing. At this point, I think we're going to leave it. In the next tutorial, we'll continue on the events. In the next tutorial then, we'll continue working with some of these preset events and touch upon how to edit them using the events tree, but actually going into a greater amount of detail for the events tree and customizing your own events, that will be covered in another tutorial. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want to be informed of any future updates to this series or some of my art.
Hey, what's the matter you, Altair?
That's racist.
You're racist.
Really? This is what you guys are doing?
Oh no, God forbid I take a break. I've only spent the past 3 fucking weeks inside that machine.
No, you're right. Let's all just screw around while the world falls to pieces.
Hey, this isn't easy, you know.
Right, like we're all on vacation out here?
Enough! Look, everyone's under a lot of pressure, but we're the only ones who can stop Abstergo, so we need to keep it.
Hello and welcome to another tutorial in the Smile Game Builder tutorial series. Yesterday's tutorial had to be deferred a day because I had a stomach bug or something. Isn't that Murphy's Law? When you plan something and you view the previous tutorials first. So last week's tutorial was a little longer than I anticipated. I'll aim to keep these videos in between 15 and 20 minutes long, but sometimes they might still go over. This means that in order to keep within this range, I'll speed through certain sections, so if you have any questions about the tutorial, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Before we start, I'd like to mention a few things. Firstly, thanks for all the comments and questions. Keep them coming and I'll try to answer them as best I can. The second thing is that because I'm working 3 nights out of the week and have several writing projects on the go as well, I'm unable to invest as much time on RPG Maker, Smile Game Builder and game dev in general as I'd like. Unfortunately, this also means many of my own projects. I can only do a tutorial once per week. Sunday or Monday seems to be the perfect day for this, so every Sunday or maybe every Monday I'll upload a new video. And to those who have asked questions, some how-to questions, I haven't forgotten about them. I'm sorry, I just don't have the time to fully invest in them. But rest assured, I will over time. Okay, look at customizing some of the preset events and briefly at the events tree. This is a map I created for the events tutorial. Admittedly, it's not a very good one, but it serves its purpose and will be used throughout some of the other events tutorials. The first thing we should do is put a door on the house. Under events, doors and stairs, and then a door, obviously. Let's choose link to another place, in this case inside the house, like so. and then the house actually has no exit door, so we'll add one there as well, leading back outside. We can now double click on presets. Now double click under objects, indoor. Single bed. And we'll put it there, rotate it, that's about right, flush against the wall. We can now double click on the bed to bring up the presets. Let's choose bed recover. There is a bed. That's a little impersonal, don't you think? So let's change it to something more personable. That's my bed. Shall I take a nap? If you select yes, it'll fully heal the party's HP and MP, but what if you wanted to change the parameters a little bit? Heal a portion of MP or HP instead. To do that, you click on Convert to Advanced Event. Incidentally, this little dialog box will pop up every single time you advance edit. To be honest, it's annoying as hell. There should be a facility to turn it on or off, maybe a checkbox here that gives you the option, or maybe somewhere in the main settings. Anyway, you will be presented with this. This is the events tree, and this is where you can add routines and subroutines. Now if you click on the add event panel, it'll show the available events commands. I'll skim through these very briefly, but bear in mind this is extremely limited in what you can do in favor. Click on the Add Event Panel routines, and this is where you entered with this. This is the events tree, and this is where you can add routines and subroutines. Now if you click on the Add Event Panel, it'll show the available events commands. I'll skim through these very briefly, but bear in mind this is extremely limited in what you can do in favor of the presets. So many of the advanced events will be limited as well. Okay, displaying messages and images, messages, conversion, images obviously. Event condition switch checks. As you can see, it checks various events, conditions and variables, and you can also set up the variables here. Player movement events, everything to do with movement, teleporting and character settings. Stats items, stats and party members. Special effects, as it says, music and special effects, and including things you can do on the screen. And finally, battle store game system. Here you can enable or disable various options and create a store or in or put a battle. So if we were to click on the full heal party, we should delete it first and then add the restore reduce HP. Change or increase its values. This is a set amount, not a percentage. Unfortunately, this needs to be done with each party member and repeated if you want MP as well. There should definitely be an option to apply this to the entire party rather than individuals. So put 50 is the amount there. And so when you sleep on the bed, if you've lost your HP, 50 HP will be restored. So back to the start menu, the start map. Let's set up a cave event. And whenever it decides to load up, I think it's slow because I have other things open at the same time, and it's getting a bit confused. Right, so to the cave event, this is the cave entrance is a graphic I created myself just for this tutorial. So still under doors and stairs. There should be an option here. Cave entrance link to another place. So we do the exit with the other cave entrance. And then of course there's nothing there on the platform. So in searchables we can place a chest. Let's do the acquire money one. Put it right here and say we'll give them generously 1,000 gold. It should be rotated. Like, okay, move that up there then instead. Maybe not. Just stick with that one. Okay. Now we need to set another cave entrance here for obviously going back. Cave entrance right there, leading back the way we came. And finally the warp gate. You can actually right click easily to select an event and you'll come up with these event settings. So when you do that, we can select up another warp. Okay, let's warp there. And we're done. It's ready to play test. Yeah, it takes a bit to load.
It's going pretty good.
I should try and
for
close
now.
down some of these other things I got. And so, there you go. That's a really nice snowy effect. Anyway, straight, go into the house. And where's that bed gone? There it is. That's my bed. Shall I take a nap? Yes. And there you go. So, we'll leave the house. I think in the future I'm just going to skip through these loading screens. And we go up the mountain to that cave entrance. And we're outside with a chest. So we go back through the cave entrance and down, and this time we'll go up to the warp. And voila! That's it for this tutorial. It's a little more.
I'm going to play a little yo-yo. This is for today. I'm going to do this because I'm going to sleep in like 30 minutes. So I hope you stay. I think that's all for today. I need to sleep. So I'm going to continue tomorrow. Also the game, video, all the stuff. So I hope to see you then, and I see you in the first team. So bye bye. See you later, alligator.